It's that special time of year. The weather is brisk, your blow-mold Santa is still missing one eye, and Grandma always sends you that unfortunate jelly cake. Only this year, it contains more flesh than fruit, because this year, Christmas is going to make you squeal. And naturally, we are here to compile our list of Christmas movies that creep our Kris Kringles the most. The grotesque, the slimy, the downright disturbed. We've got films ripped straight from the naughty list. We have 6 Christmas horror films for people with cold hearts. Before we start, we have a small favor to ask. Please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can be the first to see all of our exclusive content. Number 6, Gremlins. Okay, so this one doesn't really count because it's adorable, but it's also Joe Dante, so we're including it. This big old goober is from 1984, directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus, and you've probably seen it many, many times. That's because, despite being fairly terrifying, it's the most giddy fun Christmas movie to ever exist. Even Chris Wallace's creature design is top-notch with delectable, squishy, green gore. By all means, the concept is really horrifying. That is, a creature that can multiply by the dozens with water and turn evil if fed after midnight. But any of the scary moments in this film are completely trumped by how freaking cute little baby Gizmo is. Look at him in his little freaking Santa hat. I mean, look at this. Gizmo in a Barbie car is an absolute icon for anyone who loves 80s movies. He's the Baby Yoda before Baby Yoda even existed. Speaking of, I have it from a very trusted source that can confirm Gizmo and Grogu are indeed second cousins, and now I'm completely forgetting why Gremlins is on this list at all.
Don't chew that. Don't chew.
The door turned out the light.
Number 5, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
He brings presents to all good boys and girls.
Your daddy told you that, didn't he? Well, I tell you something. Santa Claus only brings presents to them that's been good all year. To the ones that ain't done nothing naughty. Naughty.
This controversial Christmas slasher film about a man suffering from severe PTSD after, well, you guessed it, a man dressed up like Santa brutally murdered and assaulted his family. Now, years later, after being forced to dress up like Santa for work, he goes to an after-hours work party and sees his co-workers doing exactly what co-workers at holiday parties do. This scandalous sight triggers some of the old brain synapses, and well, he goes on a killing rampage deciding who is naughty and who must be punished. Directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr., this film is pure sleaze. And by sleaze, I mean nudes, crudes, and evil Santa dudes. If you like campy, extremely exploitive films that also have nuns, well then give this one a watch. If you do not, stay far, far away from this film because it is trash cinema to the core. But we still kinda like it. Number 4, Krampus. Krampus is Michael Dougherty's second feature film following the surprise success of his other holiday favorite, Trick or Treat. Dougherty had always wanted to do a scary Christmas movie, but the idea did not take form until his friend sent him an e-card featuring the Krampus creature, which was, according to him, just love at first sight. At which point, he would team up with Zach Shields and Todd Casey to figure out the rest of the story. The result was hilarious and scary with a dash of holiday spice, all packed into a sublime 98 minutes.
We should have gone to my brother's.
The impressive visual effects were handled by Weta Workshop, resulting in some of the best creature makeup design of the past 10 years. You will not forget the massive demonic Krampus that will surely give children nightmares for years to come. This is one holiday film not to be missed. Number 3, Black Christmas. Bob Clark loves Christmas. He loves it so much that he gave 2 very different types of people seminal Christmas classics. For those who love warm, fuzzy Christmas movies, then Clark's A Christmas Story is for you. For those who love Halloween and slashers and serial killers, well, then Black Christmas is your fruitcake. After a series of obscene phone calls, a house of sorority sisters are picked off one by one in this grisly horror that is one of the films given credit to starting the slasher films movement.
He's expanded his act. Could that be one person? No, Claire, that's the Mormon Tabernacle Choir doing their annual obscene phone call.
This film is surprisingly nuanced and quite sympathetic towards its characters. Seriously, this horror film actually has characters you care about. And when they meet their brutal demise or are subjected to disturbing telephone taunting, it is terrifying.
Who is that? Who is it? Claude? Who is that? Who is it?
Olivia Hussey and Margot Kidder are standouts as the sorority sisters Jess and Barb. Balancing the ensemble, John Saxon as Lieutenant Fuller, the police officer who is assigned to the missing person case, trying to catch the killer before he strikes again. Well shot. Acted.
To be responsible for the morals of every girl in this goddamn house. These broads have the leaning tower of Pisa if they can get up there. I do my best. I don't know what the bastards expect of me. Christ's sake. Claude? Is that you, Claudikins?
This atmospheric Christmas chiller is not only a classic in the holiday genre, but a straight-up horror masterpiece with just as much Hitchcock as Carpenter. If you haven't seen it, stop what you are doing right now and go watch it.
Make sure everyone has one of these.
What are these?
It's the new safety instructions.
Wash behind the ears. This is funny shit.
Watch your mouth! It's Christmas time. So let's act like it.
Number 2, Rare Exports. No, the subtitles are not the scariest part in this next entry. In 2010, Ylarmi Hillander burst onto the international scene with this instant classic. This reimagining of the Santa Claus mythos very well could have been an inspiration for the previous entry to this list, Krampus. However, both films are quite different in their approach, as this film uses the template of a siege thriller to move the story along, which adds to the bonkers premise of a drill team uncovering the Yulabuki, a Finnish mythical creature said to have helped shape the modern Santa Claus himself. The only problem is, this guy takes the whole naughty and nice thing to a new level. Doing so, a nearby town of reindeer herders will have to hold off the big guy and his elves in a fight for their lives. With a pitch-perfect cast of tough guys, along with an adorable, precocious kid played by Oni Tamila, this film works on many levels. What we witness are 82 thrilling, strangely humorous minutes of pure entertainment. This film is a riot to watch and is an absolute must during the holiday season. You simply have to see how quirky and intense this film gets.
I was listening for a sound I was afraid I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh.
Number 1. The Polar Express. This next bizarrely disgusting Christmas fart came straight from Satan's loins. Picture it. A bunch of children with hollow, soulless eyes and computer-generated faces get taken from their homes and placed on an old steam train for which they are forced to conduct and drink batch after batch after batch of scorching hot chocolate. Along the way, they meet this homeless creep.
Is there something I can do for you?
I'm looking for a girl.
Who makes him feel at ease with his kind. What the hell? Well, I guess it's alright, because in the end, one kid has an existential crisis about Santa, and I guess things work out. And wait, I'm getting a call here. This isn't the Robert Zemeckis Christmas horror film we were supposed to talk about. But what about it's terrifying though. Good gravy on toast. This is a children's movie? So, I guess Robert Zemeckis made another Christmas horror movie, and, well, it's a standalone episode of...
It goes a little something like this. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
Tales from the Crypt, Season 1, Episode 2, and All Through the House.
Me have it.
Well, this Yuletide yarn about a conniving wife...
Merry Christmas, you son of a bitch. I don't like that language.
Played by Mikey's mom, who kills her husband, played by that guy that got whipped in the butt by Freddy Krueger. So, Mikey's mom can, you guessed it, steal his estate with this convenient handy-dandy will.
It's done. I did it. It's all ours. The money, everything.
Too bad for her. A crazy dude played by Larry Drake, dressed in a Santa outfit, is out to kill everybody he thinks is naughty. Which, if you haven't paid attention, happens a lot in Christmas horror. It's maybe not as scary as Polar Express.
You are just like me, my friend. A Scrooge!
But it will do. And that ties up this list of Christmas horror for people who deserve black lumps of turd in their stockings.
What about you, boy? You been good all year?
And remember, if you disagree with our picks, Christmas time is here, and it's truly the thought that counts. And by that I mean our thoughts, because this is our channel, so your opinions don't matter. But also, leave a comment down below on what your favorite Noel nasty is, and maybe we will include it on what all horror films must have. A sequel. See ya.